Hello, friends, and welcome to Unknown. I'm Jason McClellan. Thanks for hanging out with me. Welcome to 2018. Feels great to be out of 2017 and into a new year. The affirmation from the Pentagon that it operated a UFO program from 2007 to 2012 capped off 2017 with an unexpected surge of interest in the topic of unidentified aerial phenomena. We've seen all the major media outlets around the world reporting on this story and adding individual spins. We've also seen UFO researchers and others within the UFO community chiming in with personal thoughts and opinions about this story. It's been a little surprising, though not completely unexpected, to see the lack of basic UFO history knowledge by journalists reporting on the Pentagon UFO program story. It's also been a little frustrating, though again not too surprising, to see journalists making assumptions, focusing on the wrong elements of this story, or missing the significance altogether. It's clear that some basic public education regarding the UFO topic is severely lacking. And looking inward at the UFO research community, it's easy to understand why the general public, especially those with a genuine interest in the topic of UFOs who search for more information, can so easily find themselves confused and overwhelmed, or just plain turned off to the whole topic. We still have a long way to go where public education is concerned. While some researchers are fixated on formulating conspiracy-driven speculation about motives of government officials who publicly share information about UFOs, arguing that UFOs are interdimensional living beings, and getting hyper-philosophical just to fill pages in books, there's a huge chunk of the population that still doesn't want to accept the fact that our skies are filled with unidentifiable objects. Think about that for a second. While some UFO researchers are getting frustrated by the media's lack of knowledge on the subject, or the lingering presence of the ridicule factor surrounding the topic of UFOs, many in the general public are still stuck at that initial step of even understanding that mysterious aerial phenomena appears around the world every day, has been studied by governments around the world, and is a complete mystery. But for those curious individuals who take that leap and attempt to look deeper into the UFO subject, they quickly find a wild, confusing world. It's a world where researchers agree on little, many profess insider knowledge, and some proudly claim to know all the answers. To some, UFOs are interstellar craft piloted by visiting extraterrestrials. Others believe UFOs are biological entities. Yet others believe UFOs are visitors from another dimension. Some believe that evil extraterrestrials control everything that happens on our planet. Some believe that extraterrestrials have come to Earth to save humanity. And some believe that extraterrestrials have yet to make contact. Rest assured, there's no shortage of varying quote-unquote answers out there. Humans get bored easily. We have short attention spans, and we actively seek new things to entertain us and to feed our hunger for answers. Aside from the occasional reptilian infiltrators, like myself, here only to spread disinformation, the UFO community is comprised of humans. So it's somewhat understandable to see the constant desire for new information in UFO research. There are plenty of people out there who get frustrated and dismissive at the very mention of the word Roswell. That's old news. I already know everything there is to know about Roswell. Stop wasting my time. It's been fascinating observing the UFO field over the years. Several researchers have catered to appetites of those looking for new information and/or different ways of thinking when it comes to the UFO topic. Some have gradually moved away from topics like documented historical cases and mass UFO sightings to topics like absurd, unverifiable grand conspiracies and more philosophical, sociological areas like disclosure and consciousness. Don't get me wrong, I'm glad there are people out there covering all the angles, but I definitely feel it's a misstep to leave the basics, the fundamentals of UFO research, behind in the dust. The UFO topic has been built up and severely overcomplicated. Yes, this is an incredibly complex subject, but on its surface, the UFO subject is much simpler than many make it out to be. To better explain what I mean, here are my 6 suggestions for how to avoid overcomplicating the complicated UFO topic. Number 1. Don't overthink UFOs. Keep it simple, stupid. UFOs are a mystery, and they're certainly not all the same. You're not going to be able to put all UFOs in one box. Some might be military aircraft, some might be space debris, some might be undiscovered atmospheric life forms, and some might be extraterrestrial visitors. Number 2, it doesn't have to be A or B. It can be both. People routinely debate the nature of UFOs or the intention of extraterrestrial visitors. People argue with each other about mysterious visitors being extraterrestrials versus interdimensionals. People passionately debate about alleged experiences with extraterrestrials. Some say they have had extremely negative experiences, abducted against their will, while others say they were willingly taken aboard extraterrestrial spacecraft and had wonderful experiences. And of course, we have people saying if and when extraterrestrials come to Earth, they will kill us and take all of our resources. Yet, others say extraterrestrials are loving and peaceful and will just hang out with us and show us the path to a happy future. So, what's the right answer? All of the above, most likely. There's presumably lots of everything out there in our big, weird universe. It's pretty silly to assume that all UFOs are the same, or all mysterious life forms are the same, or all visiting extraterrestrials come from one destination and all share the same motives. So don't. Number 3, don't get hung up on trends or buzzwords. This is a big area where I feel the UFO field unnecessarily overcomplicates things. Terms like paradigm shift and shift in consciousness are regularly thrown around. A paradigm shift or a shift in consciousness is simply what happens when you learn something you didn't know before. I believe it was Peter Levenda who said on this show that people have a paradigm shift every time McDonald's releases a new burger. There's a paradigm shift every time we learn of a new death on Game of Thrones, or we find out who won the latest Super Bowl. And disclosure. Sure, a grand formal announcement from a government saying, "Attention world, we are announcing that we recovered a crashed spacecraft along with its extraterrestrial pilot," would be pretty cool. But as is illustrated time and time again, people, especially within the UFO community, aren't going to fully believe information that comes from government sources. And just because a government announces something about UFOs and/or extraterrestrials, that certainly wouldn't be the end-all, the answer to all the questions and mysteries of all UFOs. Number 4, remain objective. It can be extremely easy to let yourself be swayed by quote-unquote experts, authors, lecturers, and people you see on TV, especially if those people are saying the things you want to hear. We naturally gravitate toward individuals with whom we share common interests and ideals. So it makes sense that we do that within the UFO community as well. Although it's no easy task, it's really important to remain objective, taking in information from all sides in order to make properly informed decisions. There are no quote-unquote experts when it comes to a complicated topic like UFOs. Don't blindly believe or accept everything that someone says just because they've written 20 books about UFOs, or because you always see them on TV talking about UFOs. Yeah, there are lots of people out there who have done lots of great research over the years, and it's good information to consider in your own exploration of the UFO topic. But remaining objective is key if you really hope to gain any insight into this bizarre subject. If you're just looking for people to tell you what you want to hear, though, unfortunately, there are plenty of people who are happy to do just that. Number 5. Understand that UFOs are frustrating. I see lots of people, young and old, who begin their bright-eyed, optimistic dive into the UFO subject. They're eager for all their questions to be answered. And when those answers don't come, they quickly become frustrated. Again, that's the nature of this strange, mysterious subject. In most cases, there aren't answers. Certainly not easy or straightforward answers. Unfortunately, this frustration is what makes those who claim to have all the answers so appealing to people hungry for answers. And number 6, you don't need to defend ufology. It's somewhat common to see people posting their disgust on Facebook at how reporters on a local newscast delivered a story about a UFO sighting. These people complain about how the story was introduced with the X-Files theme song and how the reporters laughed and joked about anal probes. In addition to the frustration these people feel for having a serious topic like UFOs treated as a joke, they also voice their concern that this type of public mockery will negatively affect the field of ufology as a whole. Others have the same fear anytime anything UFO related is presented in a negative light, or when known UFO hoaxers or scammers receive any kind of mainstream media attention. Those in the UFO field who feel threatened or bullied by ridicule or negative reporting by the media need to keep in mind that humans aren't always going to be supportive, receptive, or even civil. Ridicule is an unavoidable human response to ideas that challenge or conflict with the tightly held beliefs of others. Sure, negative and/or inaccurate reports by media outlets contribute to negative stereotypes and spread misinformation. And although all scientific fields deal with ridicule and inaccurate reporting of data, ufology probably gets more than its fair share. But rather than sitting in a corner grumbling about how mainstream media is hurting ufology, it really benefits UFO researchers to move beyond this mindset of a dejected teenager and accept the challenges, rejections, and ridicule that come with studying such an enigmatic and controversial subject as UFOs. If the existing evidence supporting UFOs as a subject worthy of scientific study is as strong as UFO researchers, myself included, believe that it is, then bad media reports aren't worth losing any sleep over. Ufology is going to be just fine. Well, there you go. Those are my quick 6 suggestions for how to avoid overcomplicating the complicated UFO topic. But ultimately, you have to figure out what works best for you. It's a wild and crazy world, this world of UFO research. I think one of the most important things to keep in mind is that it's okay that every researcher in the UFO field doesn't agree. It would be pretty weird if they did. Again, although this subject relies primarily on personal belief, it's not a religion. We aren't all obligated to believe the same things, and we shouldn't believe the same things. It's important to always keep in mind that this is an extremely mysterious topic and we're all searching for answers. And there isn't one magical answer. If you are a UFO researcher, I encourage you to always keep an open mind, consider other viewpoints, and at the very least, be respectful of others. Considering other viewpoints and treating other researchers as colleagues instead of enemies doesn't mean you concede or agree with them. It just means you aren't an asshole. That is going to do it for this episode of Unknown. If you're interested in more content like this show, swing by our website, rogueplanet.tv. We've just opened a new Rogue Planet group on Facebook, and that's where you'll be able to read more about the things we discuss on this show and other Rogue Planet shows, and interact with us too. And best of all, the Facebook group makes it easy for you to post things that interest you, the things that you'd like us to cover on our shows. Just search Rogue Planet TV on Facebook and you'll find us. You can always email me at jason@rogueplanet.tv, use the contact form on the website, or check out the contact page on rogueplanet.tv and find our mailing address if you want to send us some good old-fashioned mail. Thanks again for hanging out with me today. I'm Jason McClellan. Do me a favor, friends. stay strange.